Hey, welcome to the show, director Paul Bunnell and Lucy Loken. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. Let me get that right. Thank you for being on the show today. This is great. And it's Jed Horowitz joining us.
Jake Horowitz.
Jake Horowitz.
Not Jed. Don't call him Jed.
Okay, I will not do that, but he's not here, right?
There is a Jed Rowan in the movie.
All right. Well, let's get to it. First of all, thanks for coming here. I know the movie, did it open in New York last week? And It's coming to LA this weekend.
That's right. Yeah, it's coming to the New Art Theater, Landmarks New Art, May 8th, Friday. It's also coming to the Lemley Theaters, the NoHo 7. And as a matter of fact, we've got some paintings from the original artwork from the film displayed at the theaters. And so that's kind of fun. And it's also opening, it's opening in 6 markets in AMC theaters. So that's kind of cool. You don't usually get that with an indie film.
And well, guess who entered the fray here?
Jed Horowitz.
Oh, no, it's Jake.
Oh my God, we got to get this prep right.
That's okay. You can call him Jake Rowan, maybe Jake.
We're
Rowan.
a professional show. Hey,
hey, there he is.
Jake, thank you.
Hi guys, what's up?
This is great. You've got it. You got it like you're on TikTok.
The ticker talker? Yeah.
It's what do they call that? Vertical cinema mode.
Oh,
Jake,
That's right.
Thank you for joining us.
He's an artiste.
Tell us, I want to share the trailer with this movie because it stars one of my all-time favorites, of course, Crispin Glover. And I wanna tell us what led to this project. And then we've got 1,000 people watching live. We want to take questions from them. But how did you get to this project and get your cast involved, including Jake, Lucy, and Crispin?
Well, this came to me. I've been making movies since the 70s, actually. And this came to me by a friend of mine who'd never made a movie before. They wanted to do a movie. And I just sort of sat back and chuckled at these 2 friends of mine. They thought they were going to do this little film. And finally, the one guy dropped out. And John Filatico asked if I would be interested. And I said, well, I don't think the script is very good. But if you let me bring in some of my own people, I could fix the script up. And then, so on. So anyhow, I got the script to where I wanted it. We brought in Bing Bailey. He did the story. And then John and I sat down and wrote all the scenes. We sat next to each other side by side and did all the dialogue and pretty much formatted. So then I knew I had a good script and I could direct the film, because I'm very particular about the kind of movies I make. I don't make a movie just because I can. Obviously, I take long breaks in between. But I like to do a project when we have the right money, when I could shoot on film, when I could do something of quality, of lasting quality, and something a little bit different. So that's kind of what I like to do when I make movies. So I got very lucky, and we had a nice, healthy budget for an indie film. And I got, brought a lot of my team in from one of my previous projects. Same cinematographer, same editor, same composer. And one of the actors, Jed Rowan, not to be confused with Jed Horowitz. I mean, Jake. Anyway.
I'll never live it down.
So it was a lot of fun. But, and I had this great cast, and we got casting directors, but it occurred to me, actually, Jake here was recommended by Lisa London, my casting director. But I knew about Lucy, Loken, and Crispin. They were my ideas. So I asked if they would do it, and they said, "Well, if we have to, But
and how did Lucy and Jake? How did you come to the project? And Lucy, you seem like you were named after a Stan Lee character. Lucy Loken, the use of alliteration. Alliteration is great. So, anyways, sorry, dumb aside. I'm a word nerd. How did you both come to the project?
I think we picked them up. We had a car that drove them over to the set. Did we not?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was standing on the side of the road with my thumb out, and
there you go.
all pulled up.
Classic Hollywood story.
Reenacting
Yeah.
a scene from It Happened One Night, right? Uh-huh.
How did you both come to the project?
I received the script from my agents, and they asked if I wanted to do a Zoom with Paul and with Lisa, our casting director. And I read the script and just thought it was really unique, really interesting concept. And so I did the Zoom. I guess it went well, and I was on set a couple weeks later.
Cool. Jake, what about yourself?
Yeah, pretty similar. Although I did the Zoom, and I'll never forget the first thing that happened was Paul came on screen and he said, "Who's directing this thing anyway?" And I said, "Oh, this is gonna be fun. this is gonna be really, really fun." And that was very true to Paul and Paul's sort of very lively, creative personality. He kept things so like bright and easy and uplifting on set, which for some of the subject matter was good. And yeah, that's how it came into my life.
I want to share the trailer with our live audience here, but what was it like to work with Crispin? I've met him a few times. We've had conversations. I've interviewed him before. He kind of oozes a different creative energy, I would just say.
Well, is that for me or all of us? Actually, I'll tell you.
All of you, but Paul, I want to hear from you first here.
Well, Crispin was great. I mean, we chatted and met over Zoom. I'd actually met him throughout the years here and there. I was on the set of Back to the Future and watched him film a scene. Because another friend of mine had a line in the film. He said, "Hey, I hear you knocked out Biff." And so I got to watch them film that, so I'd met him at film festivals and things. And he'd always been in the back of my mind, and I thought, oh, wait a minute. After about 3 or 4 name actors passed on the material, I thought, wait a minute, Crispin Glover, now he'd be right for this thing. So I asked Lisa to reach out to him. Sure enough, he did, and we spoke. And I think he liked the fact that I was shooting it on film, and that it was a remake of a Lost Lon Chaney film and all that stuff. But he was great. He's very focused, very concentrated, even a little shy. He told me that he gets stage fright. He doesn't really like to, let his process out in front of everybody. So we would block the scene, just Crispin and, myself and the actors when he was on set. And then I'd bring everybody in, and then we'd look at it, and, it slowed things down a little bit. But that's how he liked to work. And I like to give all the actors, meet their parameters for how they like to work. You give them a safe place and a good place to create and to do what they do best. Act like I'm doing right now. No, right. I'm not acting. This is real life. So but he's great to work with. I love Crispin. He's not a weirdo. He's just fantastic. He just gets in there. He gives it up. He doesn't phone it in. He told me, he's turned down a lot of big movies for a lot of money because he doesn't like something about it, but he liked this one. I don't know why, so I got lucky. Great to work with, though. I was glad to have him on the film.
And Lucy and Jake, any thoughts about Crispin?
Yeah, I mean, he was a little shy, very private with his process, which, I mean, I actually ended up really enjoying because, like Paul said, we would all kind of rehearse the scene without any crew there, which was nice because it kind of gave everyone the space to, figure out different things with the scene. So, yeah, it was very interesting to work with him. He was very nice.
I agree. I concur. It was really, really, really interesting actor. So focused and so committed, as I think we all felt, and yeah, you can see in his performance, he's kind of riveting in it. So yeah, I had a great time.
Well, let's take a look at all your work in here. I've got the trailer queued up. Let's watch it together, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Here we go.
I work within the field of science. And making people feel better. And now it is firmly in your grasp.
You know what a worm is, junkie? I swear, I'll pay you back, all of it.
What are you spending your money on?
Stuff. Everyone grows old. Growing old is not mandatory.
I must admit, I do love the results of your work.
You are my creation.
Your mother's blood could be very valuable for Dr. Gruder's research.
So you want to buy her blood, right?
Yes. Amongst other things.
I've never been to a spa like this before.
You're the only spa guest being admitted today.
I knew you were heartless. I didn't think you didn't have a soul.
What a trip.
You are a naughty boy, Dr. Gruder.
And he likes cats.
No need to call the police.
And this wasn't part of the deal.
Isn't it amazing? Gruder's a genius.
Laura.
You want to try your luck?
Nope. It's not safe.
Feel that, huh?
Where have you taken me?
To a place where the phoenix flies and your feet never touch the ground.
Wow.
Shot on Kodak film.
Speaking of Kodak film, speaking of that, we opened in New York at the Angelica, and we played it. It was screening on 35 millimeter the entire time. And over at the New Art in LA, if you're lucky enough to be around in that area and you catch the 7:30 p.m. show, that's also going to be 35 millimeters. So it's kind of cool to see it on film, the way it was intended to be seen in a motion picture cinema.
Is film making a comeback like vinyl? See, a lot of people are into vinyl, and some have decried the death of in-person experiences. I think more than ever, with I'm seeing like a rejection of AI. People don't like it. They don't like being forced on them. They want more tactile in-person experiences. Gen Z likes going to the movie theater, going to see movies.
Well, I think film for the younger folks who didn't get to really experience it in theaters, it is making a comeback. It seems almost like a novelty, like the vinyl records. But for me, growing up and seeing every movie on film, it was just like no big deal. Now, I'm a film collector. You might notice I got this projector back here. I've got 16, 35 millimeter. I've got prints of all my movies.
Show us.
I've got 35 millimeter prints. This is a 16 millimeter print. This is an old TV show called The Fugitive that has the original commercials in it. So that's a real time capsule. Anyway, I love to watch that old stuff. But film is kind of making a comeback. And, I've never shot a film on digital. I always prefer to shoot it on film, to capture it, to do it the way that I grew up making movies. So for me, this isn't a novelty. It's just the way, it's my canvas of choice. But it really has to do with the story, if your story's good and everything is good, you could paint it on, do watercolors, oil paint, whatever. So it's just, a choice of digital versus film versus whatever. I always, as a director, prefer shooting on film. That's my paint of choice. My canvas.
I have a question. It's a remake or reimagining of a lost Lon Chaney class. I'd never heard of it. But you chose to set it in the late 60s, 70s?
Yeah, well, that was originally, it was contemporary. It was written by, when Bing Bailey, when I brought him on and he saved the script, essentially. He's the one that said it in 1970. He knows my sensibility. So he knew that if I had a period piece that I can really go to town with it, which I did. Thank you, Bing. I appreciate that. And, it was just beautiful having that whole setup. I mean, that's the way I prefer to do it.
I have a question, but we have writers who watch this channel, and the question I have is, what intrigued me is that you saw the script and you needed to save it, and without throwing the writers under the bus, what is it that screenwriters can do today that can get them over the hump and get their script seen? And allow directors like you to see the potential, the possibility of it.
Well, I just say be yourself, don't try to be something else that you're not. Don't try to copy something else because, even when I was a kid making movies when I was 11, 12, 13, whatever, going back to 1974 is when I started. I've always just made a kind of weird, quirky, odd movies that I like to make. I never tried to copy as a young filmmaker. I didn't want to do my Star Wars tribute or my, whatever, Star Trek. I just did weird, like silent movie things. I love old movies. So I love things from the past. I kind of live in the past sometimes, not so much as I used to, but, I would drive the old cars and everything. But, it's just my sensibility, and I would suggest to any, to any other screenwriters, just find your voice and do it the way you want to do it, and find that certain unique thing about you that you could put a stamp on that thing and make it your own, and there are so many great stories out there waiting to be told, and you just have to do it in your own way. So that's what I've always done with my films. They're a little quirky and weird enough for everyone, but that's just me. That's my personality. My movies are a reflection of my personality. So screenwriters, just do what you do best and write from within. Don't try to copy someone else because you think, oh, that's going to make money. That's the mistake when you try to do something like that, in my opinion.
And question for Lucy and Jake, and then we'll go to questions from our audience. I have a whole bunch of questions here. To get into the period picture of the film, did you do research? Did you go shopping at like resale or antique places, or just to get in that mode of that era?
Yeah, I've always loved that era. A lot of my, the way that my apartment is styled is, I like to think, is like kind of from that era. I've always loved it. For me, it was really the clothes, like getting on set and putting on, or doing, even from the first fitting, trying on all the outfits was so cool. It was all, archived pieces, which was really cool. And as soon as you're in those outfits, the clothes are so different from what we all wear today. So as soon as I'm, in those outfits and they style the hair a certain way and do the makeup a certain way, it's like you really do feel like you're transported to that era.
Yeah, I agree. We had such amazing costumes. I guess I'm not committed enough. I didn't go shopping for my character. I didn't get enough clothes. But I did just but the fittings with Anita were just incredible. I mean, her racks of clothes, you could just look at them for hours. And so, yeah, it was a lot of that. And then, yeah, a lot of research about my character was in the Vietnam War. So did some research on that. Yeah, I mean,
hey, Jake, do you remember he called me like 2 days before we were going to shoot, and he said, let me just kind of listen to this. What do you think if I play the character with a stump, like with no arm?
I really wanted to do it.
I thought it was a great idea, and I said, this is a guy that really is thinking about this, but it's like it was too late because we would have had special costumes and everything. Yeah. But I love the idea. And then you said, well, how about just like a gimp, like a lame...
As if he got sort of shot like in the wrist, and so all the nerves were sort of in his hand or something. I really just thought it. I had a vision. I don't know how to explain it.
It's a great vision.
Couldn't happen. What are you gonna do?
But we should have done it, Jake. But I think there was so much coming at me at the last minute. I had I thought about that and we planned it out, maybe we could have done it. But see, both of these wonderful actors here are so talented. Lucy and Jake, they're going to go places. Because I know they have Uber accounts. But aside from that, they're going to go places, in this industry, because they have an Uber account. But you know what? I am so glad that I got to work with them, because working with talented actors, you just get out of their way, and I like to give them room to breathe and do their thing. And I'm thrilled. Jake, The Vast of Night. Have you guys seen that movie? That's amazing.
That movie is incredible. I saw it at Slam Dance. It was amazing.
You wouldn't even know he's so the same guy in this film. It's like he's so good. And Lucy, just all the stuff I've seen you. I followed Lucy's career, over the years on and off. I would see it because I know her mom. But it's just kind of like it's amazing that I get to work with these wonderful actors. And thank you for doing the film. And they're still taking my calls, so I guess everything worked out. So
Well, we've got over 1,000 people watching live. We have questions and comments.
That's too many.
So
I can't answer
Alvin,
1,000.
you help me out. We'll go through these
Yes.
comments here.
Yes. Topster McDonkey says, I love this. Looks good. Thanks.
I want to use that name as a character in my next film. Can I?
So sick.
Let's see. ADLs, how much did you feel beholden to the original film style? Did you make a point to trying to mimic anything or doing an homage to any specific scenes that you enjoyed?
Well, yes, I did a few things homage. If you're asking me, I wanted to find all the things in that period that I liked, like the Night Gallery, Rod Serling's Night Gallery, and the cars that I liked. But there was one little thing that didn't quite play out, and that was an homage to the movie Phantasm, which I've been trying to work into my films forever, because I know Don, and I worked on the director of Phantasm. I worked on Phantasm 3, and I know all those guys, Reggie Bannister. So there was a scene at the beginning of the film with you see the Newton's cradle and those little balls. Well, those represent the spheres from Phantasm, and the guy looking at him tripping out is Bill Thornbury from the original Phantasm films. He played the older brother, and then we were supposed to hear a drilling sound off camera, which those little spheres, they would drill your head and stuff. But I just didn't have time because we were on an 18-day shooting schedule. So I planned more, but because of restrictions, I couldn't get everything in there. But yeah, good question. Good question.
All right, Christopher Moonlight Productions. I've been watching the trailers and the BTS for A Blind Bargain on the YouTube channel Represent This. And it all looks so unique and off the wall. Glad to see indie cinema breaking the chains in 2026.
Nice.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Chris.
Hey,
Right,
what,
ADL?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead. You make a comment.
No, I was just going to say, what is it like? What does it feel like for Jake and Lucy, to be in this movie? I mean, did you guys, you're not mad at me, right? Because
No, Paul, we're not mad at you.
Oh,
No.
thank you. Thank you.
Like this is the intervention they want.
I did say they're really good actors.
Yeah.
So,
We've been meaning to talk to you, Paul. We figured this was a good setting.
Oh, okay. It's a therapy. It's therapy for everybody.
That's right. We needed some present.
Can I just say again, thank you for being in my movie, guys, because I don't get to make many movies. And when I do make a movie, I'm just so excited to make a movie. And I wanted to outlast me and to be around, I mean, my last film is in the Library of Congress. They've got a print. And, I store those at the Academy Film Archive over there at the Academy Awards. I'll tell you, I'm veering off here, but thank you guys. And now on with questions.
ADLS, we love films with a tight running time here at Film Threat. At 95 minutes, was there anything you sadly had to cut to reach that runtime?
Yes, I did. Let's see. I cut a few things. One of the sequences that we kept going back to was did we lose Jake or what? Okay. See,
Might have lost Jake.
He's very angry. Yeah. He doesn't like me. There was a scene with Jake, and remember the social worker that kept popping up? Well, those scenes for me were a bit redundant, and I really, hey Jake, how you doing? And I didn't want to cut that down too much because Lulu Bailey is a friend, and but I had to find something to trim the film down. So there was a great scene where Jake opens the door and she's at the door, and he's like half naked, and he's got his leg up. I'm sorry I didn't use that, Jake. We should have used that scene in the movie. I cut that down. I cut it out because it just was the timing. And then there was a scene with Chris, a couple of things, that we trimmed the scenes and made it shorter, just to make everything be better, the acting better. And I sat with the editor and I micromanaged everything, but Russell Harnden did a great editing job. So anyhow, yeah, things get cut, but I wasn't shooting for 95. Actually, we were worried we weren't going to have enough because the script was very lean. we wrote it intentionally with the idea of making the script short, making the movie move quickly. So
I think we lost Jake, but
yeah,
here's the compelling question here.
Yes. Actors from Patrick Lemire. What was your favorite at craft services?
Favorite snack?
Wow. This is a fantastic question. We had the most amazing craft services on this movie. Fantastic. They would make these delicious lattes for us, which was amazing. I drank way too much caffeine on set. I also discovered through Crafty these things from Trader Joe's. It's like, hi Jake. It's like these
Hello.
chocolate wafer cookies, and there's a little peanut butter at the end. And I'd never had them before. They had them on set. I'm still addicted to this.
We had
day.
a very healthy budget for craft services. Jake, did you have any
It showed.
favorites at
It's-
craft services?
It was honestly one of the more impressive craft services tables I've ever seen, and especially I got to say, there was cold brew. There was great cold brew, and I have to give a shout out to that more than any of the snacks.
I don't know if you
fresh
guys.
cold.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. And Crispin had special dietary needs, so we had to meet those needs per the contract. But did you guys know, actors, that out of my own pocket, I got the grilled cheese truck there the last night? Let's see. Yeah, you were both there. Did you know? Do you remember the grilled cheese truck?
I do remember that.
Did you know that I paid for
cheese
that?
truck?
That was I wanted to do something nice for everybody because I was starting to piss people off. I mean, the last day, and I was getting real upset and nerve, having my my phobias, and like, oh, we're not going to get everything in, But I said, well, I'm going to get I'm going to try to make the crew like me again. And so I got this.
It worked.
Wow, what did you
That was
do?
fantastic.
It was a beautiful thing, and I'm still paying off my credit card for that one. But anyway.
All right, it's okay to laugh. Can you touch on the funding and distribution process? Yeah,
Well,
how
that's
much was
very
it made for? Who funded it? And
Well, yeah, John Filatico, look, he's a rancher, and he paid for the entire thing, and he's still paying for everything. $2.5 million it cost to make this movie, more than we thought it was going to cost. And we're putting a lot of money into marketing and whatnot, and that's all. He's just, he's excited. He never made a movie before, so we're very lucky. We basically have a guy that has some money. He's not like Rockefeller, but he's got some money. He makes money from a ranch that he has in Nebraska, and and we were just very lucky that I'm stumbled onto this opportunity. I'm always stumbling onto these people with money. I wish they'd give me some. Anyway,
What's
but
your
that was
secret?
Yeah, good for you.
I know.
Somebody up there likes me.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting a bunch of emails now. ADLs24. What was behind the creative decision to move the time frame from the film from the original 20s to the 70s, and why did you land on that specific decade? What challenge did this offer?
Well, originally we set it in the present, and I would have loved to have done a black and white, silent style movie. That's right up my alley, 1920s thing. But we knew we had to make it for contemporary audiences, and the 50s aren't as popular as they used to be. With the current generation, they tend to think, oh, 70s, even 80s and 90s, is vintage. But I love 1970 because I was around in 1970. I remember being a kid. I can remember the things we had, and I'm like, well, if I can't do 60s or 50s, 70 will do. And it was just made sense. We wanted to make it more interesting for today's audiences and give it some style and a feel to it by setting it in the past. So, and it's a groovy time to be set in. I'll tell you, 1970s. It's very groovy.
Roxanne Stein wants to know, what was your most expensive reshoot or cut, and why did you have to do it?
I didn't have to reshoot anything. We believe it or not, I got 18 days to shoot the whole movie. I got all my coverage. Well, what I could get covered. There were things I couldn't do, but I got enough coverage to assemble the film and make it work. We did have one day where I came back and we went to a little studio at Panavision, and we shot an insert of the girl getting the pin on her in the car, and I shot the paintings and you just kind of second unit kind of stuff. So no, we didn't do any reshoots or anything. You know, I was and same with Johnny X. I had 30 days to make that film, but I never had to come back so far. You know, knock on wood, and do any reshoots.
All right, and then Wes Reviews wants to know, when will this be available to rent or purchase?
Well, how much could you contact me and I'll set you up. I get some. I could set you up. So how much you have? You want to rent it? You want to purchase it? You want to pay the big bucks? I can get that to you.
Well,
it's gonna be.
It's
soon.
in theaters, right? I mean,
there's that. Yes, the theater.
Well, I found there's a let me share here. There, I don't know if there's a website, but there is an Instagram where you can get info.
Yeah, there's an Instagram. There's a website that says tickets. Here's the deal. We're so excited about our theatrical. We're doing all these markets all across the country. We do have a game plan for a VOD, you know, but we're giving it a bit of a window. We don't want to make it available just yet. And we're going to have a special edition Blu-ray and all of that. So that's coming down the line. So, just look for announcements on our Facebook / Instagram or website. And yeah, right now it's theatrical, baby. Hey, but we should talk to these young actors. Anybody have questions for these amazing actors? You know, you could see me any day. These guys, I mean, come on now. We need an actor question.
We just got to take what the audience gives us, Paul. That's the first lesson of acting.
Yeah, well,
I'm very shy. You can tell I don't like to talk much. You
know? Well, to wrap up, any final thoughts on the experience? Will you be getting together for a sequel or?
Oh, I would love to see where Ellie and Dominic and Joy, where they all head off to after the movie ends. Where are they going?
What's next?
What are they up to now? Yeah. So
Well,
Paul, start writing.
I know. Well, I've got other projects. You know, I've got one I've been working on for about 10 years. I've got a script called Rocket Girl. Now I'm trying to get funding for that. That's a retrotastic 1960s futurism, fun thing, you know, and it's more in the line of The Ghastly Love of Johnny X movie. And I have a biopic also about Tiny Tim, which spans the different decades, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. But I know John Filatico has been talking about wanting to do with me possibly another Lost Lon Chaney film. But, you know, I don't think we should do another one of those. He's thinking about a Western. So we'll see what he comes up with, and we'll see what I come up with, and who can make the movie first. Who gets to the finish line for? And I will probably, I know I will be calling Jake and Lucy.
A reunion is in order.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you can follow the movie at A Blind Bargain Movie on Instagram. And where can people follow you guys? Jake?
Also Instagram, yeah, at Jake Horowitz. That's me.
Yes, same here. Lucy Loken. It's just my name.
And it's a good name too.
Good name.
And Paul, what about yourself?
You can write to me. I'm currently at prison, so I'm jail cell number 16. Wait a minute, jail block B, 78. Wait a minute, no, they moved me from solitary. Listen, just do my Instagram. Forget the jail thing; it's too complicated. It's Ottermole, you know, Paul Bunnell, or like I said, you know, look for me on milk cartons. You know, I'm all over the place.
There you go. Congrats on A Blind Bargain. It's in theaters in LA this weekend. Go on the Instagram. All the info is there. Thank you all for joining us. This is great.
Hey, if you guys come and say to the New Art, and I'm there for the Q&A, and you say that you've seen this show here, I will give you a signed poster of A Blind Bargain.
There you go.
No questions asked.
For everyone watching this on Film Threat right now, go to that screening and get a poster.
I'll give you a poster. They're beautiful posters. Beautiful posters.
Paul, Jake, Lucy, thanks for joining us on the show. Appreciate it. And best wishes for success. And I can't wait. Come back when your next movie is done.
Oh, absolutely,
Do it.
Chris and Alan. Thank you for having us.
Thank
And
you.
Jake and Lucy, it's great to see you guys. You know, it seems like only yesterday I saw you. I saw Jake in New York. He was there for this. Boy,
right.
this is going to be fun, right, Lucy? We're going to do the Q&As this weekend. So
Nice.
Yes.
we're,
Very
we're all
excited.
excited. We're all excited. I might even show up. Okay.
All right. Take care. Congrats
All right.
again.
Bye,
Thank you,
thanks.
See
guys.
you guys.
Great to
Take
see you.
care.
Bye.